Morning, guys. Everything new under the sun. Well, the title of this article is obviously sensational, and I think it's meant to be, but there's a lot of truth in it. It is true in a sort of a way, because that's what's coming down the pipe. I'm looking at Luke 21 right here. We're going to take a look at this passage. Luke 21, verse 12, starting in verse 12. But before all these, they shall lay hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, putting you in prison, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. They're going to take you to court. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom with all your adversaries, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay or nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. Some of you in my listening audience may be put to death. I may be put to death for what I'm saying. I think this is coming down the pipe quite quickly. So we get to this story. This is from yournewswire.com. Canada bans Christianity from the classroom, June 22nd, 2018. Now, again, this is a sensational title, but this is the thin edge of the wedge. And this is talking about Trinity Western and their denial of accreditation to become a law school. And it's because they're discriminatory based on Christian values, or discriminatory according to what the liberal government sees is right and correct. And I think what the general population, generally, what they feel is their moral red line, I guess, if you will. Canada's Supreme Court has banned Christian schools and colleges from teaching biblical values because the Bible does not support the Trudeau government's vision of diversity and is therefore harmful to LGBT and Muslim students. Instead, Canada's schools have been encouraged to adopt common core values, such as ordering children as young as 6 to question their sexual orientation. And again, this is sensational, but this is actually what's happening in our schools. And gender identity, while teaching them how to use a range of vegetables as sex toys and promoting anal sex as normal. Now, obviously, it's not as obvious and as overt as this, but certainly they're going in this direction. They're teaching kids all sorts of, things related to sex that maybe the parents should be teaching their kids. They're certainly going beyond what many classes have went to in the past about this. So in a ruling that is sure to send shockwaves through the nation, Canada's Supreme Court ruled 7-2 against Trinity Western University's law school. The summary is that Trinity Western is a Christian university that requires its students and faculty to live by basic Christian standards, and you would expect that if it's a Christian university, why not? This means that to be a student or faculty member in good standing, you cannot commit fornication or adultery. You would agree to that, basically, as a student attending this school. Nor can you engage in homosexual relationships. This is all standard per Bible. If you want to go to this college, you got to commit to living to a standard that lives up to the standard that is the standard of that uses the standard of the Bible as the way of life, basically. And so you commit to doing that when you go to this college. It's a choice. You don't have to go to this university, and that's their standard. It goes on, there's nothing surprising with these requirements, and there are thousands of schools in North America with similar standards. These include Christian schools from K to 12, Christian colleges, Bible schools, seminaries, and universities. These standards have long been part of Trinity Western University's mandatory covenant, which requires that all students and faculty pursue a holy life characterized by humility, self-sacrifice, mercy, and justice, and mutual submission for the good of others. It requires members to abstain from using vulgar language, lying or cheating, stealing, using degrading materials such as pornography, and sexual intimacy that violates the sacredness of marriage between man and woman. It goes on, unfortunately, when TWU sought to open its law school, it fell afoul of Canada's LGBT activists and their allies. And so now they're squelching, free speech basically in favor of LGBT. So LGBT rights now, Trump religious rights and free speech effectively. They argued that TWU was discriminating against LGBT students, because of which students graduating with a bona fide law degree should not be allowed to practice law in Canada. So the Supreme Court, of course, voted 7-2. This is the way it's going. This is the way other schools are going to attempt to be accredited and officially recognized. And if they have any covenants that they make kids agree to, or students or whatever agree to, the government's going to strip their accreditation. This is significant, because this is coming down the pipe for our homeschoolers, for every other Christian or Catholic school. This is, again, this never stops. This always increases in pressure against the religious group it's going against. And this is going to mean, effectively, churches are going to lose their charitable status soon, because how many churches have covenants? If you want to be a member, you have to agree and abide by the covenants, the standards by which that particular church is ordered. And those churches are going to lose charitable status. Now, maybe that's a good thing for the churches, but this is coming down the pipe very fast, faster than I think we all suspect. And this is going to lead a lot to fall away from the faith. This is going to lead a lot who are soft, who are Sunday-going Christians only, to leave it, to say, you know what, this is we should be more loving and such, and so they'll go to a more liberal church or something like that. Meanwhile, the Bible has its standards. Its standards don't change. Just the feeling of the general public changes from day to day. And this is what Luke 21 is speaking of. They're going to lay hands on us. They're going to persecute us. They're going to deliver us up to the governors, to the judges of the world. We're going to be hit by laws. We're going to be put in jail. Some of us, there will come a time when some of us are actually killed for our faith. All ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, for the sake of Jesus Christ, for the sake of God, because we follow him, we will be persecuted, even to death. But there shall not a hair on your head perish. In your patience possess ye your souls. We will not lose our eternity and our eternal salvation. We may lose our earthly life. This is coming down the pipe. This is the thin edge of the wedge. This is part of where the world is moving, and this is happening in Canada. You need to be prepared, because this is going to happen all over the world, and Christians are going to need to make a stand. Do I follow the Bible? Do I follow God? Or do I follow God and be put in jail effectively? Am I persecuted? Or do I simply say, you know what, I'm not gonna follow God anymore. I'm just gonna go along with whatever society says right now, which is ever changing, and that way it's gonna be an easy life for me, even though, in eternity, I'm gonna live apart from God. That's the decision, basically. You're making an eternal decision, whether you live for God or whether you live apart from God in eternity. And a little bit of persecution on this side is nothing compared to the incredible thing that awaits in eternity, heaven, the incredible things we will experience, the incredible life God has in store for us in heaven and an eternity with him. So thanks for watching, guys. Please share this around. Please be aware. Things are going to get hard for Christians. And if you're a Christian right now, you need to get into your Bible. You need to strengthen your faith, because now these are the 7 good years. These are the easy times. It's coming down the pipe. It's going to get real hard, real fast, real soon. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.